Hello, it is Harmony, Trauma Transcendence Leader for Entrepreneurs. I'm answering the question, what is it like to work with me? What are some kind of unique personal characteristics that will affect our work together and our relationship in the Transcend Healing Coaching Workshop? Well, seven things. Number one, I'm super organized and methodical. Some people can find that super maddening. Other people find it invigorating and inspiring. But what that translates into is, well, number one, kind of the way that I think, although it may not seem like it sometimes because I can seem to go a different direction, but then I kind of bring it back to home. But how it will certainly manifest is inside your members area. So when you sign up for the Transcend Healing Coaching Workshop, you'll get a login and you will have pre-work and downloads and resources that correspond to every session that we'll have together each week. Everything is laid out in a very structured way, in a methodical way, in an organized way, and I try to present the information so that it's not overwhelming for you. It's very easy to digest. So I do that in such a way where you won't even see a lot of the information until you physically act on it. Like, for example, everything is laid out step by step. You only see one step at a time. When it's time for you to go to the next step, you click something, it drops down or opens up or flips over, whatever it does, so that you can move on then. Because it's a lot easier to just for you to stay organized and not have to worry about a lot of scatter when you're trying to heal. So that manifests there. Also, number two, I tend to not only think outside the box, but I believe that there is no box. And that applies in just the way that we work together, and that the possibilities are limitless as long as we put both of our heads together in a collaborative way. Number three, there is no spoon. As in the Matrix, they believe there is no spoon in the Matrix. I believe exactly the same thing. The thing about me is that I have always believed in people, certainly people that I care about greatly. And that translates into a care for you and an unequivocal belief in your potential and in the power of the techniques and the research that I am bringing to the table here in order to help you ensure your success with the program. There is no spoon, unequivocal belief in you and in this work. Number four, I'm very introspective. So I tend to ask very deep questions of myself on a regular basis, but that also means that I will ask them and do ask them of others. And so that means that when we work together, you will feel challenged. But the good news is that's why you're here. You're here because you've tried so many other things before, workshops, programs, books, self-guided exercises and things like that, and didn't get the results that you were looking for. So now you are looking for a challenge that will help you move the needle in your healing. And that's what we're here for, to do together. Number five, a lot of people say, and I agree, that I have more of a quiet power. I'm not a very loud person, so I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to, I'm not going to fight with you, those sorts of things. So sometimes that quiet power translates into me just listening very well. Sometimes it translates into firmness. Sometimes it translates into just, well, it depends. Really, I'm typically willing to provide whatever it is that you need in any given moment, aside from fighting. If you feel like you need that or if you're in that space, then that's not something that I will engage in. That's not to say that there's anything wrong with you and the way you do things. That just means that we are on kind of different legs of our healing journey, and maybe we aren't going to mesh at this time. And that's another reason why I have an application process inherent within the Transcend sign up process, because I need to know if I can help you where you currently are and where I currently am if we can bring that together and create some healing for you. Number six, I'm a very thorough person. I try to be very thorough in my work and in my explanations of things, in, whether they be written or verbal. So sometimes I guess I can be a bit exhaustively thorough, and I don't mean to be. So let me know if I'm over explaining something. It's just that I want to make sure that you understand, because especially, for example, the neuroscience, like the brain on trauma, it's so integral that you understand that, because that helps you understand that you are not broken, you are not flawed, there's nothing wrong with you. Your body is behaving in the way that it is designed to under these conditions. So now it's the challenge becomes, how do we change these conditions and calm the body down, and teach you the tools to operate even in certain conditions in a more optimal way that's more comfortable for you, so that you can grow in your business and consequently in life as well. Then number seven. It's, when we work together, it's going to be ride or die, Bonnie and Clyde, or Bonnie and Bonnie, however you present. But sometimes maybe my devotion to you and your healing journey and the process and my excitement for that, and just seeing you progress, even sometimes when you don't see it because you're kind of so deep within the forest. Sometimes, you will notice that. And I am always seeking to be very sensitive to how you are feeling. And I'm super intuitive and in tune with that in most cases. So, because isn't it frustrating when people are like bouncing off the walls and they're like in this super bubbly, ebullient kind of place, and you're depressed? Not to say that people shouldn't be happy if they're happy, but in certain situations and environments, it can seem a bit insensitive. So I wouldn't come with all these bubbles and glee if you're obviously feeling down that day. Does that make sense? So that is what it's like to work with me on the Transcend Healing Coaching Workshop. Just a little bit about me and how we would interact throughout the program.